Hey everyone, welcome back. Today we have yet another VPN review with the spotlight on ExpressVPN. Now, this has been requested by a lot of you guys, and rightfully so. Express has dominated the VPN market for the past few years and has been on everyone's top VPN list. So stick around because I'm about to break down everything you need to know about ExpressVPN, such as privacy policies, cost, streaming and torrenting capabilities, and security features so that you can decide whether or not it's the right choice for you. Also, if at any point in this video you want to just check out ExpressVPN for yourself, you'll find all the useful links, including a special discount, in the description down below. Okay, so let's kick this off by talking about ExpressVPN's streaming and torrenting capabilities. Now, it's true that most people mainly use VPNs to protect their personal data, but at the same time, a huge fraction of the user base would prefer having a VPN that can also access international content, two birds with one stone, and that's exactly what ExpressVPN can do. Now, I've tested a whole lot of VPNs, and only a handful of them were able to access streaming services, and even then, these VPNs were only able to access very few Netflix libraries, probably, one or two, and most of the time I had to jump between servers to find one that wouldn't crash in the middle of the movie. Whereas with ExpressVPN, you don't get any of those issues. It has over 3,000 servers spread across 105 countries, allowing you to access multiple Netflix libraries. And the best part is all of these servers work really well with streaming services and have rarely experienced any dropped connections or issues while watching any shows. This is not exclusive to just Netflix, by the way. It also expands to other streaming platforms like Hulu or BBC iPlayer, HBO Max, etc. As for torrenting, ExpressVPN allows you to torrent freely because it has no internet bandwidth limit at all. In fact, it even gives you some tools to make your torrenting experience as safe as possible. For example, there's a kill switch that would immediately sever your internet connection in case you accidentally disconnected from the VPN server, which rarely happens, by the way. But this way, neither your ISP nor anyone else can see your internet activity no matter what happens. So this not only helps in torrenting activities, but it also helps those of you who live in rather restrictive countries to be able to access the internet freely. And in case you want to use Express for just the torrenting software, the split tunneling feature would allow you to do just that. Now, since we talked about some of ExpressVPN's features, I want to note something in this regard. So Express is not that heavy on features compared to other premium VPNs like Nord and Surfshark, but I use the term had because ExpressVPN has made a lot of progress when it comes to features. But before we get into these improvements, I want to emphasize that Express is designed to be easy to use by everyone. So they purposefully excluded some granular control options to make the app as accessible as possible for beginners and even intermediate users. It's a big ick for these users, especially if they have to spend, 10 minutes configuring settings or Googling what encryption levels do and finding the right protocols. But from the get-go, everything is automatic. They preset both the best controls to use at the time and even select the best server that you can connect to. So all you need to do is click the on button and just go about your day. And if you wanted to choose the protocol manually and tweak some options, you also get to do that with Express because they've kind of found the right balance between beginner and advanced options. Now, I did say that they're not heavy on features, but that's only compared to other premium options. Express still offers you all the features you need, like split tunneling and a kill switch. And as I mentioned earlier, they've recently added even more impressive features to kind of improve their app, including advanced protection feature that blocks ads and trackers and malicious sites. Plus, you can use this feature kind of as a simple form of parental control by blocking adult sites. And yet another bonus you get is a free Express password manager as a Chrome extension, so you don't have to pay for a separate password manager. And it's just as easy to use as the VPN app itself. So this continuous improvement is definitely something to look for when choosing a VPN. All right, so another area that Express excels in is speed and performance. Now, it's only natural for all VPNs to experience drops in speed, and that's due to the time it takes for them to encrypt your data. But how much the speed drops is what makes or breaks a VPN. So generally speaking, any drop in speed between 10 and 25% is considered excellent. Even up to 40% is considered good, I know, but anything above that is obviously just sacrificing your speed and nobody wants that. So in ExpressVPN's case, the speed drops were in that excellent 10 to 25% area, with the 25% speed drop happening while I was connected to extremely remote servers. I just had to test the extent of it and I wasn't disappointed. So this speed also works really well in case you're using it for gaming, especially if you use the lightweight UDP protocol and then connect to a server close to your gaming servers. As for streaming, I was able to watch shows in high quality, and even in some cases, I was even able to watch shows in 4K. Now, one of the biggest strengths of ExpressVPN, in fact, I think its biggest strength, is its privacy policy. And I can't stress enough how important it is to check the privacy policy of a VPN before you make your purchase. According to a study by Forbes, around 66% of VPN users use it to protect their personal information. However, most VPNs, especially cheap or free VPNs, usually sell your data behind the scenes to fund their operations. So it's definitely not enough for a VPN to claim that they just don't log your data. They got to show proof as well. And the way to do that is basically by going through independent audits done by reputable companies, which would put the privacy policies as well as the functionality of the VPN to the test, which is exactly what ExpressVPN has done. So Express has gone through several audits by reputable companies such as Cure53 and PricewaterhouseCoopers that confirm their commitment to their policy. So maybe you're asking, other VPNs have gone through the same thing, like what could possibly make ExpressVPN more special? So other than these independent audits, Express has gone through a real life test where one of their servers was seized by the Turkish government in an ongoing investigation, but they weren't able to extract any useful data from that server because Express operates on RAM-only servers, which means that there are no drives to store data on, and whatever is left on the server will be wiped out with every server reboot. And the cherry on top of all this is that ExpressVPN operates in the British Virgin Islands, which is not part of the 14 Eyes Alliance, which are countries that share information with each other as part of an agreement. So being put on the spot and tested in real life situations is basically the ultimate test for any service. And Express did not disappoint, making it the most secure VPN out there. Also, to further boost their security status, ExpressVPN uses top-of-the-line encryption as well as their own zero-knowledge DNS servers, and they even accept Bitcoin payments to give their users the utmost anonymity. And to top it off, they're available on almost every single device and platform, allowing up to 8 simultaneous connections, which is more than enough. Plus, they have their 30-day money-back guarantee. Now, you might be wondering, that all sounds so great, but what about the cost? Well, I've reviewed a lot of VPNs and did in fact notice that Express tends to cost $1 or $2 more than its competitors. But if you factor in everything you're getting with the service, like the most secure privacy policy, access to almost all streaming platforms, etc., I mean, these $2 extra per month are extremely worth it. At the end of the day, it's just as much as buying a bag of chips or something, you know? Now, let me tell you a little bit about the plans so that you know how to get the best bang for your buck out of your subscription. So basically, ExpressVPN gives you 3 plans to choose from. There's a month-to-month plan for $12.95 per month, a yearly plan for $6.67 per month, or a 2-year plan for $4.99 per month. But if you use the link in the description, you get an extra 4 months at the discounted rate on us. So before I share my final thoughts, there's one more thing I'd like to talk about: ExpressVPN's customer support. So another strength of Express is that they have 24/7 live chat support. I think it's important for cybersecurity services to be available all the time because they handle user data, which is serious business. Express not only meets this expectation, but goes a step further by offering technical troubleshooting as well. So unlike some other VPNs, which may only answer like simple questions or direct you to a ticketing system, which can be frustrating, ExpressVPN provides hands-on help. So if you're like me and you hate waiting hours or even days for a reply and would much rather have instantaneous help, then Express is the best option here. So would I recommend it? Absolutely. Now, I get that the price may be a tad higher than other VPNs, and it doesn't have the granular control over settings you might find elsewhere, but putting these two nitpicks aside, ExpressVPN can arguably be considered the best VPN on the market, especially if you're a beginner. And that's because it's extremely simple to use, and it's super fast, and you're able to access a huge variety of streaming libraries and services that aren't usually available to you. It also has the most verified no logs policy that gives you a peace of mind no matter where you are, and as long as Express is on, no one can pry on your data. So I would highly recommend you give it a shot because I think it's perfect for most users. And if you actually give it a shot, you have 30 days to think about whether or not you want to make the commitment. And that's thanks to their 30-day money-back guarantee. So that's all for today's video. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to check out the links in the description to grab yourself the best discounts possible. And like and subscribe to see more of these videos, and let me know in the comments if there's anything cybersecurity you'd like me to cover. So thanks again for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.